Wherever you are right now, stay there a moment. Don't fix it. Don't run from it. Just be in the room where you are. Maybe the light is low. Maybe it's late, and the house has gone quiet, and the noise you carry all day has finally set itself down beside you. Maybe you're tired in a way that sleep doesn't touch. I want you to know something before we go anywhere together. You are not behind. You are not too late. You are not too far gone for the life you were meant to live. You have been told a story about yourself. That your best years are the ones already spent. That the door closed somewhere back there, in a decade you can barely remember. That the person you hoped to be got left behind on a road you can't walk back down. I'm here to tell you that story is a lie. The soul does not age the way the body does. The soul keeps its capacity to grow until the very last breath you draw. A tree that is 100 years old still puts out new leaves every spring. It does not say, "I am too old to become green again." It simply reaches for the light, because reaching is what it was made to do. So before we go one step further, I want you to do something. Put down whatever you're holding. Not just in your hands. In your chest. That thing you woke up carrying and will carry to bed tonight unless someone tells you it's alright to set it down. I'm telling you. For the length of this hour, you don't have to hold it. Let it rest on the floor beside you. It'll still be there if you want it back. But I have a feeling that by the time we're done, you won't. You were made to reach. Not to strive until you break. Not to hustle until you're hollow. To reach, steadily, gently, toward the light that has been calling you your whole life, even in the seasons you stopped answering. So this is not about doing more. God knows you've done enough. You've carried enough. You've proven enough. This is about something quieter, and far more powerful. It's about overcoming what's held you back. It's about remembering why you're here. It's about growing on the inside, so the outside can finally come to rest. Overcoming. Purpose. Inner growth. And on the other side of those three, a life that is finally, deeply balanced. Not a perfect life. A whole one. There's a difference, and by the end of our time together, you're going to feel it in your bones. So take a breath with me. A real one. In through the nose, slow, until your chest is full. And out, longer than you took it in. That breath is a gift. You did nothing to earn it. It was simply given to you, the way this new day was given to you, the way the next chapter of your life is being offered to you right now, with both hands. The only question is whether you'll take it. Stay with me. Let's begin. Let's be honest about something before we talk about rising. You are carrying weight. Everyone is, but they've learned to hide it, and so have you. You carry the weight of the years that didn't go the way you planned. The marriage that ended, or the one that stayed and went cold. The career that asked for everything and gave back a fraction. The children you'd give your life for, who grew up and grew busy and don't call the way they used to. You carry regret. That's the heaviest one, isn't it? The words you can't unsay. The chances you watched pass by because fear had a louder voice than faith. The version of your life that exists only in the quiet, in the what if, in the ache of the road not taken. And you carry it silently. Because somewhere along the way you decided that a strong person doesn't set the weight down. That grief is weakness. That needing help is failure. And here is what that weight does, quietly, over the years. It bends you. Not all at once. A little at a time, the way a shelf sags under books you kept meaning to move. You stop standing quite so tall. You brace before you get out of bed. You brace before the phone rings. You've carried it so long you've forgotten there was ever a time you walked without it. And you've started to believe the bending is just who you are now. It isn't. It's just the weight. And the weight can come off. So you've been strong for so long that you've forgotten what rest even feels like. Hear me now. There is a scripture that has outlived empires because it speaks to exactly this. It says, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." Weary and burdened. Those aren't words for the weak. Those are words for the ones who've been strong too long. That invitation was written for you. The first act of overcoming is not fighting harder. It's setting the weight down. You cannot climb while you're clutching everything you refuse to release. You cannot heal what you won't hold up to the light. You cannot walk into your future with both hands full of your past. So today, in this room, I want you to name it. Whatever it is. The loss you never grieved out loud. The bitterness you've fed for years because it felt like justice. The shame you've worn like a second skin until you forgot it wasn't really you. Name it. Not to relive it. To release it. Because here is the truth about the weight you carry. It was never meant to be permanent. It was meant to be a burden you passed through, not a home you moved into. You've been living in the wreckage of what happened to you. It's time to move out. The house of your future is being built somewhere ahead, and it has room for everything except the weight. You have to walk in with empty hands. Set it down. Not because it didn't matter. Because you matter more than it does. Let it go. We're going up from here. There's a thing nobody tells you about the lowest point. They tell you to avoid it. They tell you to fear it. They tell you that if you end up there, you've failed. But I've lived long enough, and I've walked beside enough people through the dark, to tell you something that sounds impossible until you've been there yourself. Rock bottom is holy ground. Because rock bottom is the one place where you finally stop pretending. Up on the surface, you can perform. You can manage the image. You can keep every plate spinning and smile while you do it. But down there, when it all falls, when the noise stops and there's nothing left to protect, that's where you meet yourself. The real one. The one underneath the performance. And that self, stripped of everything, is the one that can finally be rebuilt. The seed knows this. A seed cannot become what it was made to be while it's sitting safe in your hand, in the light, admired. It has to go down. Into the dark. Into the ground, where it's buried, where it looks, for all the world, like it's dying. But it isn't dying. It's beginning. Everything that's ever grown, grew in the dark first. So if you are in the dark right now, if this season has taken you lower than you thought you could go, I need you to consider that you have not been buried. You have been planted. There is a difference, and the difference is everything. Buried means it's over. Planted means it's starting. Same soil. Same darkness. Same silence. But one is an ending and the other is a beginning, and the only thing that decides which one you're in is what you believe about the ground you're lying in. I've watched people lose everything and find the one thing they'd been missing their whole lives. I've watched the diagnosis become the wake-up. The heartbreak become the door. Not because pain is good. Pain is not good. But because something in us only opens when everything else has closed. There's an old promise that says, He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. Notice, it doesn't say He keeps you from breaking. It says He meets you in it. The broken place is where the healing goes. So stop despising your low point. Stop being ashamed of the ground you're standing on. You are not at the end. You are in the soil. And what's about to grow out of this season is going to have roots deeper than anything you could have grown in the easy years. Down here is where the strong things start. Stay planted. Keep breathing. The light is coming, and when it comes, you'll be ready to reach for it in a way you never could before. Now, there's something that will steal your peace faster than almost anything else, and you do it without even noticing. You compare. You look at where you are, and then you look at where everyone else seems to be, and you come away feeling like you fell behind on a race nobody actually told you the rules to. She retired comfortable. He's still married. Their kids call every Sunday. Look how well they aged. And meanwhile you're standing in your own life feeling like the only one who didn't get it right. But listen to me. You are comparing your behind the scenes to everybody else's highlight reel. You are measuring your whole messy, honest, private truth against the 2 inches of another person's life they chose to let you see. You don't know what they cry about when the door closes. You don't know the weight they carry that looks nothing like yours but is just as heavy. Comparison is a liar, and it always rigs the game so that you lose. There's a line in the old writings that cuts straight through it. It says, each one should test their own actions. Then they can take pride in themselves alone, without comparing themselves to someone else, for each will carry their own load. Your load. Your road. Your race. And there's another moment, when a man starts asking about somebody else's path, and he's told, plainly, what is that to you? You follow me. What is that to you? The life next door was never yours to run. You have your own, and it is not too late to run it well. So take your eyes off the scoreboard you invented. The only comparison that will ever grow you is the quiet one, between who you were yesterday and who you're becoming today. Are you a little kinder than you were? A little freer? A little closer to the person you were made to be? That's the only race that matters, and it's one you can win from wherever you're standing, at whatever age, no matter how far behind you feel. Run your own road. It's the only one with your name on it. Let me ask you a question that most people go their whole lives without answering. Why are you here? Not how you got here. Why? What is it for, all of it? The breath in your lungs, the beat in your chest, the fact that out of all the ways this could have gone, you exist, right now, listening to these words. Somewhere along the way, a lot of us stopped asking that question. Life got loud. The bills came. The years accelerated. And purpose became a luxury we told ourselves we'd get to later, once things settled down. But things never fully settle down. And later has a way of becoming never. So hear this today, wherever you are in your years. You were made on purpose, for a purpose, and that purpose did not expire. You are not an accident. You are not a random arrangement of dust that happened to wake up. There's a line in the old writings that says, before I formed you in the womb I knew you, and before you were born I set you apart. Before you did a single thing. Before you succeeded, before you failed, before you were good enough or fell short, you were already set apart. Already known. Already meant. Your purpose was never something you had to earn. It was something you had to remember. And I know what the quiet objection sounds like. It says, that's fine for the young ones, the ones with time and energy and a road still stretching out ahead. But my road is shorter now. What could my purpose possibly be at this point? Let me answer that plainly. The people who need what you carry are not looking for someone flawless and finished. They're looking for someone who made it through. And you did. Every hard thing you survived became a language you can now speak to someone still lost in it. That is not a small purpose. That may be the truest one you've ever had. And here's what I've come to believe after years of watching people search for it. Purpose is not one enormous thing you finally discover on a mountaintop. It's not a career. It's not a title. It's not the thing that would finally make you impressive at a dinner party. Purpose is the direction you point your love. That's it. That's the whole secret people spend decades chasing. Where do you pour what you have? Whose life is lighter because you were in the room? What is the good that only moves through the world because you were here to move it? You don't need a stage for that. You don't need to be young for that. You don't need to be healed all the way, or wealthy, or finished with your own struggle. Some of the most purposeful people I've ever known were also some of the most broken. The two are not enemies. Often they are the same hands. The wounded ones make the best healers. The ones who lost their way make the best guides. The very thing you thought disqualified you is the thing that qualifies you to reach someone that the whole and untouched never could. So stop waiting to feel worthy before you start living on purpose. Purpose isn't a reward for the finished. It's the fuel for the becoming. Point your love somewhere today. A person. A calling. A quiet, faithful work that no one applauds. Point it, and pour it, and watch what happens to the emptiness you've been trying to fill every other way. The emptiness was never a hole to be filled. It was a space waiting to be given away. You are here for a reason. Today's the day you start living like you believe it. Now I want to speak to something the world has lied to you about for a long time. The world will tell you that the years behind you were the summit, and everything after is the slow walk down the other side. It builds a whole culture around that lie. It treats your season of life as a problem to be managed, a decline to be slowed, a thing to apologize for. And if you're not careful, you'll believe it. You'll start living like your story already happened, and all that's left is the epilogue. But that is not what the wise have ever said about a life. There's a beautiful promise that says the righteous will flourish like a palm tree, they will grow like a cedar of Lebanon, and here's the part they never quote, they will still bear fruit in old age, they will stay fresh and green. Still bearing fruit. Not remembering the fruit they used to bear. Not living off the harvest of decades ago. Still producing, still growing, still green, in the very season the world wrote off. The tree doesn't retire from being a tree. And if you're sitting there grieving the years you feel you wasted, the ones the struggle ate, the ones that got swallowed by survival, hear this promise made to people just like you. I will restore to you the years the locusts have eaten. The years the locusts ate. What a thing to say to someone who thought their best time was gone. Not, I'm sorry those years are lost. But, I will restore them. What was eaten can be given back. The harvest you thought you missed can still come in. There's one more, and I want you to hold on to it. It says, even to your old age and gray hairs I am he who will sustain you. I have made you and I will carry you, I will sustain you and I will rescue you. Even to your gray hairs. That's not a God who checks out when you slow down. That's a God who says, the older you get, the more I carry you. You were never meant to reach this season and be dropped. You were meant to reach this season and be held. So stop treating the second half of your life like a waiting room. It is not the end of your purpose. It is the ripening of it. Everything you learned in the hard decades, every scar, every loss survived, every ounce of hard-won wisdom, all of it was the growing season. And now is the harvest. Now is when you have something to give that no young, untested, unhurt person could ever give. Don't take that to the grave with you. Give it away. Someone is waiting for exactly what your years have made you. I want to talk to you now about the noise. Not the noise around you. The noise inside you. The one that never fully stops. The running commentary that narrates your days and, more often than not, tears you down while it does it. You're too old. You missed your chance. You always do this. You'll never change. Who do you think you are? You've heard that voice so long you've mistaken it for yourself. But it isn't you. It's the echo of every person who ever made you feel small. It's fear wearing your own voice so you trust it. And you've been obeying it for decades. Here's what I've learned about inner growth, and it's the part almost nobody talks about. Growth isn't only about adding new habits, new goals, new discipline. So much of real growth is subtraction. It's learning to tell the difference between the voice of fear and the voice of truth, and slowly, patiently, turning down the one that lies. Because underneath the noise, there is another voice. Quieter. It doesn't shout. It never has. It's the one that spoke to you when you were a child, before the world taught you to be afraid. The one that still, in your best and clearest moments, whispers, "There's more for you than this." The prophet went looking for God in the earthquake and the fire and the mighty wind, and God was in none of them. God was in the still, small voice. The whisper. The gentle stillness that you can only hear when everything else goes quiet. That's why the noise fights so hard to keep you busy. Because the moment you get still, you might hear the truth about who you are, and the truth would set you free, and the noise cannot survive a free person. So here is inner work, the real kind. It's not complicated, but it will change your life. Get quiet. On purpose. Every day, even for a few minutes. Turn off the feed, the screen, the endless input. Sit with yourself in the silence you've been avoiding. It'll be uncomfortable at first. All the noise will rush in to fill the space. Every worry, every regret, every unfinished thing. Let it come. Let it pass. Keep sitting. Because eventually, and I promise you this, underneath the storm, you'll find the still water. And in the still water, you'll finally hear the voice that's been trying to reach you your whole life. The one that says you are loved. The one that says it's not too late. The one that says the balanced, whole, peaceful life you long for isn't out there to be chased. It's in here, waiting to be uncovered. Grow quiet, and you will grow. That's not a contradiction. That's the whole thing. There's a word that scares strong people, and I think it's time we made peace with it. Surrender. For most of your life, you were taught that surrender is what losers do. That the honorable thing is to grip harder, fight longer, control more. That letting go is the same as giving up. But somewhere past the midpoint of a life, if you're paying attention, you learn a harder and truer thing. The tighter you grip, the more you lose. You felt it. The relationship you tried to control until you strangled it. The child you held so tight they had to pull away to breathe. The plan you white-knuckled while life quietly rearranged everything anyway. The years spent trying to manage outcomes that were never yours to manage in the first place. Control is exhausting because control is a lie. You were never running the universe. You just thought your anxiety was holding it together. Surrender is not defeat. Surrender is the moment you stop carrying what was never yours to carry, and let it be carried by something larger than you. There's a scripture, maybe the most freeing sentence ever written for the tired soul. Cast all your anxiety on him, because he cares for you. Cast it. Throw it. Hand it over. Not because you're weak, but because you were never meant to hold it alone, and the holding was killing you. Think about what you do when you can't sleep. You lie there rehearsing the problem, turning it over, gripping it in the dark as if worrying about it is the same as solving it. And nothing changes except that you lose the night. Now imagine setting it down. Not solving it, setting it down. Saying, "This is bigger than me, and I release it, and I trust that the morning will bring what the night could not." That's surrender. And it is not weakness. It takes more strength to open your hand than to keep it clenched. And I want to get specific with you, because vague comfort never changed anyone. There is something you are gripping tonight. You know exactly what it is. Maybe it's a person you cannot fix no matter how hard you love them. Maybe it's an outcome you've been trying to force for years. Maybe it's the need to be right, or the need to be needed, or the need to know how the story ends before you'll let yourself rest. Whatever it is, picture your hand around it. And now picture opening that hand. Not throwing it. Just opening. And letting it be held by someone stronger than you. That is the whole work. That is where the peace comes from. The river doesn't fight the rock. It doesn't grip. It doesn't strain. It yields. It goes around, it goes over, it goes under. And in yielding, over time, the soft water carves the hard stone into canyon walls. The yielding thing outlasts the rigid thing. Every single time. So loosen your grip today. On the outcome. On the person who has to change before you'll be at peace. On the version of your life you were sure you were owed. Open your hands. Not to lose what's in them, but so that they're finally free to receive what's coming. We live in a world that has lost its patience, and it's costing us our depth. Everything now is fast. Fast answers, fast comfort, fast fixes. And so when growth turns out to be slow, as real growth always is, we assume we're doing it wrong. But nature has never once been in a hurry, and nature has never failed to bloom. Look at the bamboo. You plant it, you water it, you tend it, and for the first year, nothing. The second year, nothing. The third year, nothing. The fourth year, still nothing you can see. Any reasonable person would have given up long ago, certain the seed was dead. Then, in the fifth year, the bamboo shoots up, 80 feet in 6 weeks. Now, did it grow 80 feet in 6 weeks? Or did it grow 80 feet in 5 years, building a root system underground so vast that when the time finally came, it could hold the weight of all that height? The waiting was not wasted. The waiting was the work. I need you to hear this in a culture that has told you your slow season means you're falling behind. The years when nothing seemed to happen, when you were just showing up, just enduring, just staying faithful in the dark with no evidence it was doing any good, those years were not lost. You were growing roots. And roots are what let a life survive the storms that snap the shallow things in half. It's never about how tall you grew in the good times. It's about how deep you went in the waiting. And I know how invisible that kind of faithfulness feels. Nobody claps for the person who just keeps showing up. There's no applause for the parent who prayed for the same child for 20 years. No ceremony for the one who stayed kind after life gave them every reason to go bitter. No medal for getting up one more time when quitting would have been so much easier. But those unseen, unapplauded, faithful years are the strongest thing you will ever build. The world only sees the tree. God sees the roots. And the roots are where the real story was written. There's a promise about the person who trusts through the dry seasons. It says they'll be like a tree planted by the water, that sends out its roots by the stream. It does not fear when heat comes, its leaves are always green. Its leaves stay green in the drought, not because the drought never came, but because the roots went deep enough to reach the water underneath. So stop measuring your growth by what you can see above the ground. The most important growth of your life is happening where no one, not even you, can watch it happen. Be patient with yourself. You are not behind. You are becoming. And the things that become slowly are the things that last. Keep watering the ground even when nothing's showing. Keep showing up in the years that feel like nothing. The bamboo doesn't know it's almost time. It just keeps growing roots in the dark. And then, one season, all at once, everything you've been building underground breaks into the light. Your 5th year is coming. Don't quit in the 4th. And that word, quit, let's stay there a moment, because I know it's closer than you let on. There's a particular kind of tired that isn't in the body. It's in the will. It's the moment you think, I don't know how much longer I can do this. You're not asking to give up on life. You're just so worn down by carrying it that laying it all down starts to sound like rest. If that's where you are tonight, I'm not going to shame you out of it. I'm going to sit with you in it, and then I'm going to tell you the truth. The truth is that quitting almost always happens one step before the turn. Not because the finish was impossible, but because you couldn't see it from where you were standing. There's a promise written for exactly this exhaustion. It says, "Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." If we do not give up. The harvest is tied to the not giving up. Not to your strength. Not to your feelings. Just to whether you're still standing when the proper time comes. And you are more durable than you think. There's a description of a person under pressure that has held people together for 2,000 years. It says, "We are hard pressed on every side, but not crushed, perplexed, but not in despair, struck down, but not destroyed." Read that again slowly. Hard pressed, but not crushed. Struck down, but not destroyed. That's you. You have been struck down more times than most people will ever know, and here you are. Still breathing. Still listening. Not destroyed. Do not mistake how tired you are for how finished you are. They are not the same thing. So here is all I'm asking. Not the whole mountain. Just one more step. You don't have to see the summit. You don't have to know how it all works out. You just have to take the next faithful step, and then, tomorrow, the one after that. That's how every long road has ever been walked, and every long road has ever been finished. One step, taken by someone who wanted to stop, and didn't. Be that someone tonight. The turn is closer than it looks. We can't talk about a balanced life without talking about the one thing that throws more lives off balance than anything else. Unforgiveness. I know. It's the hardest word in this whole hour. Because when someone has wounded you, truly wounded you, forgiveness feels like injustice. It feels like letting them win. It feels like saying what they did was okay, when it was not okay, and you know it was not okay. So let me tell you what forgiveness actually is, because you've been sold a lie about it. Forgiveness is not saying it didn't matter. It mattered. Forgiveness is not letting them back in. Some doors should stay closed, and wisdom knows the difference. Forgiveness is not forgetting, and it's not pretending, and it's not weakness. Forgiveness is you deciding to stop drinking the poison you keep hoping will hurt them. Because that's what resentment is. Someone said it perfectly, holding a grudge is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. The person who wronged you is outliving their life. And you are still tied to them, years later, dragging them into every quiet moment, letting them live rent-free in the one place that was supposed to be your peace. They took one thing from you back then. And every day you refuse to forgive, you hand them your today, too. You let a person from your past keep stealing your present. And I want to be gentle here, because I'm not asking you to feel something you don't feel. Forgiveness is not a warm feeling that finally arrives one morning. It's a decision you make long before the feeling catches up. It's you saying the words, "I release you," on a day when everything in you still wants justice. And then saying it again the next day, when the anger comes back. And again. Forgiveness is not one grand moment. It's a road you choose to walk, one honest step at a time, until one day you realize the name that used to tighten your chest doesn't anymore. That day comes. But only for the ones who start walking. Forgiveness is not for them. Forgiveness is you cutting the rope that ties you to the thing that's dragging you down. It's you saying, "I will not carry you one more mile. I am setting this down, not because you deserve it, but because I deserve to be free." And here's the hardest one of all. The person you most need to forgive might be you. For the years you can't get back. For the mistakes that hurt the people you loved. For not knowing then what you know now. You've been serving a life sentence for crimes you already regret, punishing yourself long after any reasonable judge would have let you go. There's a line that says, "As far as the east is from the west, so far has he removed our transgressions from us." East from west, a distance with no end, that never meets. That's how far it's meant to be behind you. If you have been forgiven that completely, who are you to keep sentencing yourself? Lay it down. The grudge you've fed for years. The name that still makes your stomach tighten. The version of yourself you can't seem to pardon. Forgive them. Forgive yourself. Not for their sake. For yours. And feel the weight, years of it, finally lift off your shoulders. That lightness is what a balanced life feels like. You're free now. Walk like it. Now we build. We've set the weight down. We've made peace with the low place. We've remembered our purpose, quieted the noise, opened our hands, learned to wait, and forgiven what was breaking us. Now we rebuild the house we live in, the one on the inside. Because here's the truth about a balanced life. It is not built out there. You will not find it in the right circumstances, the right amount of money, the right person finally behaving the way you need them to. People spend their whole lives rearranging the outside, waiting for peace to arrive, and it never comes, because peace was never an outside job. There's a warning as old as time. Everyone who hears these words and does not put them into practice is like a foolish man who built his house on sand. The rain came, the streams rose, the winds blew and beat against that house, and it fell with a great crash. The storm comes for every house. That's not the question. The question is what you built on. So let's talk about the foundation. Not the decorations, the foundation. The inner house of a balanced life is built on a few things, and none of them can be bought. The first stone is gratitude. Not the greeting card kind. The kind that trains your eyes to find what's good in a day that also had hard things in it. Gratitude doesn't deny the storm. It just refuses to let the storm be the only thing you see. A grateful heart and an anxious heart cannot occupy the same room at the same time. And every morning, you get to choose which one you invite in. The second stone is presence. This one. This moment. Not the regret behind you or the worry ahead of you, the life that is actually happening, right now, while you're busy being somewhere else. Most of our suffering is time travel. We relive the past that can't be changed and rehearse a future that hasn't come. Peace only exists in the present, because the present is the only place life is actually being lived. The third stone is connection. You were not built to carry a life alone, and the strongest thing you can do is not to need no one, it's to let yourself be known. Reach for the people who remain. Make the call. Say the thing. Let someone see the real you, weight and all. Isolation is where the darkness wins. Every good thing grows in connection. And the fourth stone, the one that holds all the others, faith. Not certainty. Faith. The quiet, stubborn trust that you are held. That the story isn't over. That the same power that turns winter into spring, without fail, every single year, is not finished with your winter yet. And here's the thing about a house. It doesn't go up in a day. Nobody pours a foundation and moves in by dinner. It's laid brick by brick, morning by morning, one small faithful act at a time. One grateful thought when the anxious one wanted the floor. One moment you chose to actually be present instead of somewhere else in your head. One phone call you almost didn't make. That's how the inner house rises. Not in some dramatic breakthrough, but in the quiet, unglamorous, daily choosing. So don't despise the small brick you can lay today. Lay it. Then lay another tomorrow. That is how a life gets rebuilt. Build on those, and let the storms come. They will come. But a house on that foundation does not fall. It stands. And you stand in it. Finally, at rest. So what is it, in the end, this balanced life we've been walking toward? Let me tell you what it is not. It is not everything in perfect proportion, all your plates spinning at exactly the right speed. That's not balance. That's just a more organized exhaustion. And it can't last, because life refuses to stay level. Seasons come. Storms come. The ground tilts. But before we get to balance, there's one more thing we have to name out loud, because it's been steering your life from the shadows for longer than you know. Fear. Not the loud, obvious kind. The quiet kind. The kind that dressed itself up as being careful, being realistic, being responsible, while it slowly talked you out of every brave thing you ever wanted to do. How many rooms did you not enter because fear stood at the door? How many words went unsaid? How many dreams got called impractical? How many years did you spend small because fear convinced you that small was safe? Here's what you have to understand about that fear. It is not from the deepest part of you. There's a line that says it plainly: God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, and of love, and of a sound mind. Not a spirit of fear. So when that trembling voice tells you to shrink, to stay quiet, to not even try, understand where it's coming from. It is not your true voice, and it is not the voice of the one who made you. You were built with power, and love, and a sound mind. The fear is a squatter. It was never the owner. And you are not walking through any of it alone. The most repeated command in all of Scripture is not be holy, or be perfect, or try harder. It's do not be afraid. Over and over. Fear not, for I am with you, do not be dismayed, for I am your God, I will strengthen you and help you. And even in the darkest stretch, the valley of the shadow itself, the promise is not that you'll avoid it. It's, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Not around it. Through it. With you the whole way. So do it afraid. That's the secret nobody tells you. Courage was never the absence of fear. Courage is feeling the fear all the way down and taking the step anyway. Make the call afraid. Start the thing afraid. Forgive afraid. Hope afraid. Live afraid, if you have to, but live. Because a life run by fear is the one thing you will actually regret at the end, and the fear, once you finally walk through it, almost never turns out to be as big as it looked from the doorway. Take the step. The fear shrinks the moment you move. Real balance isn't a still, frozen thing. Watch someone actually keeping their balance, on a beam, on a wire, on a moving boat. They're not rigid. They're constantly, gently adjusting. Balance is not the absence of movement. Balance is staying centered while you move. The balanced life is not the one without storms. It's the one with a center that the storms can't move. And the secret of that center is a word we've forgotten. Rhythm. Not rush, rhythm. The creation you're part of does not hustle. It moves in rhythm. Day gives way to night so you can rest. Winter gives way to spring so the ground can recover. The tide comes in and the tide goes out, and no one has ever accused the ocean of being lazy for pulling back. You were made for that rhythm, and you have been fighting it your whole life. Push, 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 with no pull. Give, 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 with no receiving. Do, 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 with no simply being. And then you wonder why you're empty. You're not broken. You're just a rhythm that's only playing half its beat. Even the ancient wisdom built rest into the very fabric of the week. 6 days, and then a seventh, not because rest is earned, but because rest is holy. Because a life that never stops is not a strong life. It's a life that has forgotten it's allowed to be human. So here is the balanced life, as plainly as I can say it. It's work, and then real rest. It's giving, and then letting yourself receive. It's holding on to what matters, and letting go of what doesn't. It's striving toward your purpose, and then sitting still long enough to remember you were already loved before you achieved a single thing. And I wonder if you've ever actually given yourself permission to rest. Not collapse, exhausted, at the end of a day you squeezed dry. Rest. On purpose. Without guilt. So many of us learned somewhere that our worth was in our doing, that to stop was to be lazy, that we had to earn the right to sit down. So we never really do. Hear me. You do not have to earn your rest. You were loved before you produced a single thing, and you will be loved long after you can't produce anymore. Rest is not the reward for a life well lived. Rest is part of what makes a life well lived. Give yourself permission. Sit down. Breathe. You're allowed. It's a full breath. In, and then out. You can not only inhale. A life that only takes in and never lets go isn't living, it's suffocating on its own effort. Breathe out. You're allowed. The world will keep turning while you rest. It always has. Find your rhythm, and you'll find your balance. Not the frozen kind. The living kind. The kind that bends in the wind and does not break, that moves through the seasons and stays centered, that has finally made peace with being beautifully, gloriously human. That life is not out ahead of you, waiting to be earned. It's under your feet right now, waiting to be lived. So rise. Not because everything is fixed. It isn't. Not because you feel ready. You never will. Rise because rising is what you were made to do, and the world has been waiting long enough for the person you're becoming. The weight is down. You set it there yourself, and you can leave it. The low place turned out to be soil, and something is already growing in you that could never have grown in the easy years. Your purpose was never lost, only waiting to be remembered, and you remembered. The noise is quieter now. Your hands are open. Your roots went deep in the waiting. And the things that were breaking you, you have finally, mercifully, forgiven. You are not the person who started this hour. Something has shifted. You can feel it. So carry this out of this room. When the doubt comes back, and it will, you remember, I was planted, not buried. When the fear puts on your own voice, you remember the still, small one underneath that says you are loved and it is not too late. When you want to quit, you remember the harvest is tied to the not giving up. When the storm beats against the house, you remember what you built it on, and you stand. Carry the promises with you, because you're going to need them. On the days you feel behind, remember, I will restore the years the locusts have eaten. On the days you feel too old, remember, they will still bear fruit in old age. On the days you feel weak, remember, even to your gray hairs, I will carry you. These aren't pretty words to make you feel better for an hour. They're an inheritance. They belong to you. Reach for them the way you'd reach for a railing in the dark, and let them hold your weight. They will. There's a promise for exactly this moment, and I want to leave it in your hands. Those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles, they will run and not grow weary, they will walk and not be faint. Renewed strength. Not the strength you had at 20, better than that. The strength of someone who has been through the fire and come out still reaching for the light. That strength isn't behind you. According to that promise, your best strength is still ahead. So here, at the end, is my blessing over you. May you set down what you were never meant to carry. May you find the light in the low place. May you live pointed toward your purpose, quiet enough to hear the truth, brave enough to open your hands. May you stop comparing your road to anyone else's. May you grow roots deep enough to weather any storm, and may you forgive your way into freedom. May you refuse to quit one step before the turn. May you build your house on what cannot be shaken. And may you find, at last, the rhythm that gives your soul its rest. You were made on purpose, for a purpose, and it is not too late. It has never been too late. Now go. Rise, and live the balanced, whole, unhurried life you were always meant for. The rest of your story is still being written. And the best chapters are the ones you haven't lived yet. Breathe. Begin again. You're going to be all right.